There's more breaking information in the Christopher Watts case. We all know that the sentencing is set for Monday, November 19th at 2 p.m. in Weld County, Colorado. And now, for the first time, Christopher Watts' girlfriend speaks. She has a lot of information to give. Let's talk about it. There had been reports, but there had not been a whole lot of information that Mr. Watts was engaged in an extramarital affair, and we did not want to talk about it until we had any type of confirmation. Well, the girlfriend has broken her silence and given an interview to the local media as well as the Denver Post here in Denver, Colorado. This woman's name is Nichol Kessinger, and she was an employee at the same oil company that Mr. Watts was employed at, and through casual conversation, they became friends, and at some point in late July, they had a relationship. What is significant and I think interesting here in this particular case is there's really no reason why Miss Kessinger is not credible based upon the information that we have. She contacted the police, according to her story, once she heard that Mr. Watts' family was gone and that he was basically very casual or nonchalant about it. And it really kind of originated the talk with the police department and gave the police, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, and FBI information regarding what Mr. Watts had told her about the family, the disappearance, and once again, as I stated, that he was very casual about it. She is not looking for fame. She is not looking for money. She simply wanted to tell her story and let the world know that she too was a victim of Mr. Watts and that he was not truthful to her. According to Ms. Kessinger, Mr. Watts had told her that he was separated, that the divorce was nearly complete, and that when Shanann had taken the children back to North Carolina, I take that back, South Carolina, that the divorce was final, and then it turned out that it was not. And so when the news media followed the Watts case from the beginning, there was talk that he was still married, that his wife was 15 weeks pregnant. Obviously, Miss Kessinger became suspicious, skeptical of the version of events that she had been told by Mr. Watts, and she contacted the police. And so it's rather interesting that she came forward right before the sentencing date, but her name had been put out on social media, and I believe that she had some not so nice things said about her, and she wanted to get her story out there for the public to hear and let the world know that Mr. Watts was not truthful to her. Now, this case is not going to trial. There's been no indication that Mr. Watts is going to attempt to withdraw his guilty plea between now and Monday, and the reality of it is if this had gone to trial, Ms. Kessinger would have been a witness for the prosecution. And like I said, there's no reason to say what she is saying is not the truth. She says she's never met the family. There's no indication that she's ever been at the house. And really, they had a relationship at work, and that was about it. They met about 4 to 5 times a week over a period of weeks, and she became rather suspicious during this whole time. So it does show that Mr. Watts obviously can tell a pretty good story, convince people, and that's what he thought he could do. He could try to get away with the story that he had fabricated, that he had gone on local media and saying that his wife and children had disappeared. And it was Miss Kessinger who was apparently asking very straightforward questions. You know, where are the children? Was there a car seat there? According to the news article in the Denver Post, was the EpiPen that one of his daughters needed still there? It just didn't make sense, and she's the one that contacted the police. So that's the latest update. A couple of updates here as well. We have ordered the transcript of the change of plea hearing where Mr. Watts actually pled guilty, so we can look at the colloquy between the court and Mr. Watts, and we'll be able to post that on the website here and at YouTube as well, and we'll be able to go over that. Additionally, on Saturday, we're going to try to go live, technical issues permitting, at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And the other big news is obviously that the sentencing for Mr. Watts will be basically televised. The court has granted the expanded media coverage. He's allowed a still photographer, one video photographer. They have moved it to a larger courtroom at the Weld County Courthouse, and they will be streaming that video to another courtroom where people can watch. I'm unsure if that means it'll actually be live on TV, but it will definitely be recorded, and we should be able to see the highlights of it. I have it on my calendar. I intend to be there to see and hear what is being said and basically just get the emotion of the courtroom there and be able to report back to you. I appreciate you watching Crime Talk. Please, if you like the channel, subscribe. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to get notified of new videos, hit the little bell on the YouTube and leave a comment. We appreciate what you say. Most of the comments have been very positive, and the ones that have provided constructive criticism, we are taking that to heart and trying to do a better job for you. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thanks for watching Crime Talk.